This is another paper that's looking at the stability and transmissibility of COVID in the environment, specifically focusing on food transmission and surfaces transmission. So something that I want everyone to understand is that transmission through respiratory droplets, the difference between a droplet that is aerosolized and considered not aerosolized is literally just the size of the droplet, where we consider diameters of the droplet less than 5 micrometers to be aerosolized. And then there's two modes that you can get COVID is through direct contact transmission and then indirect contact transmission. And this is the one we're going to be focusing on, and this is contamination of environmental surfaces or fomites. Fomites is just the fancy word for a disease-carrying object or something like an animal. So for a contaminated surface to be considered a fomite, there's certain criteria it has to meet. It has to be able to shed into the environment through a respiratory pathogen. This pathogen then needs to be able to survive on surfaces. The concentration at which it is existing in the environment needs to be above the minimum infective dose. And then when this is indirectly picked up, it needs to be able to initiate infection through contact with the eyes, nose, mouth, or by re-inhalation through the respiratory tract. It's been found that the minimally infectious viral load needs to be something around 10 to the 7 copies of RNA per milliliter. So the first question is this something that exists in people? So looking at throat swab samples of 80 patients, the median viral load was 7.5 times 10 to the 5, which in this study would be insufficient to generate infection. But the highest viral load was 1.34 times 10 to the 11. So the order of magnitude was much greater than the minimum infectious level. And in a much larger study on asymptomatic individuals, the mean viral load was 2.1 times 10 to the 7, which is sufficient for infection, while the highest viral load in saliva was 6.1 times 10 to the 12, which is way more than you would need to infect other people, which demonstrates that asymptomatic individuals are a very high source of COVID transmission. And people with viral loads greater than 10 to the 10 copies per milliliter, they're super carriers. And while only 2% of individuals carry this, they're the source of 90% of virions circulating within communities. And outside of respiratory tract specimen, we also have found that COVID is detected in other biological samples such as stool and urine. So again, these fomites can occur by either viral shedding onto the hands and then touching other surfaces, or can be expelled through respiratory particles when coughing, speaking, or even breathing, and then they just fall onto surfaces, where they can then settle and persist for extended periods of time, especially in poorly ventilated indoor spaces with a continual affluence of people, so where these are just high traffic areas for people. And then I'm going to pause here and go to a part 2.